the private sector move in and follow these funds. And so it's really just government seeding investment to generate new industry, new capital deployment. And so with the $30 million this time, a major part of that initiative is to bring Vantas to this side of the state. And we aren't having an official unveiling or a grand unveiling and maps, etc. But I've asked Nick, I've asked Jim, who operates the Vantas for us, if you could raise your hand in the back. No, but everybody will run to him after the meeting. But anyway, how close are we to this? And it's all of us on the test site and the staff feel like, well, yes, this will be the next area to bring Vantas to. And so once you get into looking at the uses for Vantas, the main use out here will be what? Agriculture. We're talking to folks that are looking at doing aerial spraying with drones that are here today. We need agricultural applications, applying the right amount of chemical to the plant and not just doing a broad brush. I mean, everybody wants to be able to get to that type of holy grail type activity, and how is that deployed? And so those opportunities should be best served here. Just besides the autonomous side, which the DOT's been involved with that from the beginning as well. Grand Farm should be the test showcase area for autonomous farm equipment, as well as drone activity for applying chemical, etc. And so we'll look forward to taking the full faith that we got from the legislature with the $30 million investment and deploying these assets here. I could go on for a long time, but could I have all the legislators stand that are here? There's quite a few. If there's too many to start singling out, I don't want to miss anybody. I've talked to most of you. Thank you very much. And a really amazing tidbit that I learned is that Kristen Rohrs in District 27 borders Ron Sorvog and Harwood and Larry from Wahpeton, which makes no sense to me, but that's the kind of map you can come up with when these things evolve over time. So there's a lot of area in between, and 27 goes that way as well, so it's likely that Vantas might end up in 27, but there's a whole lot of people in the area that I can't figure out what we call it, if it's Southwest Fargo, or if it's, where's Mayor Mahoney? Southwest Fargo. Or if it's rural Horace, if the mayor from Horace is here. Don't want to offend anybody, but that area is amazing of the growth in people and investment. And it'll be interesting times when the redistricting is happening, and more fun at the legislative session next time. But I'm going to guess that, Kristen, you might end up still having 27 for Vantas. But anyway, thank you for being here, legislators. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all industry that's here. UND, we have the Dean of Aerospace here, so thank you very much for being here. Appreciate all the support over the years. And if this is back and forth, do you want me to take questions, or do you got someone else to bring up next?
Let's bring someone else up.
Okay, I'm done. Thank you, Nick. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much for that, Lieutenant Governor. As talked about, this type of investment, $30 million, this happens because of the state legislators believing in this. And this time, I'd like to have Senator Holmberg come up and say a couple words.
Thank you. Great day and a great celebration. I was going to start out with a phrase talking about, we have gone where no man has gone before, but that seemed a little cliche. So to me, this is more a Shangri-La moment. On March 28th, 2011, John Schuler, who was Northrop Grumman site leader at Grand Forks Air Force Base, visited the Capitol to talk about the opportunities in North Dakota for the integration of commercial UAS into the national airspace a long time ago. He wasn't lobbying, I have to say that because we have some Northrop Grumman people here. Just presenting a dream to the governor and Governor Dalrymple and legislative leaders. His message was the antithesis of the poet who wrote, quote, "There is no sense in going any further. It is the edge of cultivation." We listened and we moved forward into uncharted field. That session appropriated $3 million to explore the synergies relating unmanned aerial systems in the state of North Dakota. Make no mistake about it, though, we are in a race, and I know Nick knows this very well. a race we cannot win with money alone. To be number one, you have to think and act like you are number one, and you must be united. We have done that. 3 governors, 6 legislative sessions later, from those meetings that started in 2011, we are here celebrating another milestone, another excursion beyond the edge of cultivation. In 2019, we made a $33 million investment in our future UAS capacity. And last session, as the Lieutenant Governor just mentioned, we put another $30 million into enhancing Vantis and our statewide UAS network. Some of you may wonder, why are they doing it in the West first? We had that question back in the session where the big dump of money came. And number one, that's where it should have gone. And number two, it was political. If we had been there saying Grand Forks needs $30 million or $33 million for this great project, people would grab, the smelling salts. They'd get very unhappy and very excited. So wisely, we started in the West, where the greatest need was. And now as we move east, it is going very well, I think. And now to recap with our Shangri-La moment, as I mentioned, with the legislative actions in the 2021 session, we continue to fulfill the admonitions of the Shangri-Las when they sang in 1964, even before I was in the Senate, that we are, and will continue to be the leader of the pack.
Thank you very much for that, Senator Holmberg. First off, I want to just thank you, Lieutenant Governor Sanford, for chairing the Northern Plains Unmanned Systems Authority. It's been under your leadership that we have accelerated the growth of UAS in the state and have really solidified ourselves as leaders across the country when it comes to UAS. Also want to thank all the legislators of North Dakota that have continued to fund this vision. We've gone from a state that's known for farming, agriculture, and oil to a state that's known for enabling and opening the doors for commercial UAS operations. Strategically and thoughtfully and intentionally, the state's investment of $30 million towards during this legislative session shows a commitment that the state has to keep us moving forward. And really, I get that privilege of delivering on that commitment with the others from our team that's not only here, but also in the field today doing work. We get that privilege to deliver on the commitment of not only economic and technological, but also innovative development for the citizens of North Dakota. The UAS industry is continuing to leave me in awe with the possibilities that this new technology will be able to provide. I can't help but often think about what the future will hold, and really I hope that all of you guys do as well. This past year we launched Vantis, the state's Beyond Visual Line of Sight network. What's Vantis? It's a series of infrastructure, it's technology, it's a way for unmanned aircraft not to run into manned airplanes, it's a way for unmanned aircraft to fly long distances using command and control radios across the state. We've installed that equipment in Williams and McKenzie counties to enable those advanced UAS operations in the heart of the Bakken Formation. We're making sure that that equipment is ready for the commercial use, and we anticipate that to be finalized this summer. From there, we'll be able to turn on the network for others to use. We will see the oil and gas industry enable this service. But also we're going to be able to see public safety provide better service to their population and enable advancements in rural medicine. I think sometimes it's hard to understand what kind of value add this technology can provide and what kind of impact Vantis can provide. Let's take a moment and look backwards to see what the future has in store for us. Let's for a moment think back to the moments in 2013, right after the train derailment. For many of us, it's hard to believe that it's been 7.5 years ago since that happened. With over 400,000 gallons of crude oil spilled, a drone could have immediately been deployed to provide oversight of that situation. This could have helped the first responders, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, and the 1,400 people evacuated from their homes, control the area, and keep everyone out of harm's way from a remote area. Let's go back to 2017, when more than 70% of the state was in some level of drought. A drone could have helped an agronomist and farmers make strategic decisions about production, fertilization application, and irrigation needs much more precisely to maximize their yields. Or most recently in December of 2019, when the snowstorms closed I-29 and I-94, how could a drone have helped the Department of Transportation maintain safety while determining the earliest time to open the interstates again? This balance of safety and commerce is crucial in our decision making. We won't have to reminisce about that much longer. During this last legislative session, which was challenging yet ultra productive with COVID-19 hanging over everyone's heads, they approved $20 million to expand the Vantis network across the state. We've established a solid footprint in McKenzie and Williams counties. And with the additional funding, we look forward to expanding this capability through Cass, Trail, and Grand Forks counties to get started. This expansion will allow Xcel Energy to inspect their transmission lines, North Dakota Department of Transportation to innovate I-29, and farmers in the Red River Valley to increase their yields. The team at the Northern Plains UAS test site is working hard to keep North Dakota a leader in UAS. The governor and state legislators are equipping us to keep us moving forward. And we look forward to expanding Vantis across the state, where a single infrastructure for enabling advanced UAS operations will enable multiple users. I want to thank everyone for their support as we execute this vision. When you're traveling the country and people talk about the possibilities of UAS and what they could mean in the future, tell them just to ask a North Dakotan. You don't have to just imagine the future here, you get to see it in action. I want to thank everyone for coming. If anyone has any questions from like a press standpoint, we'll be up front, we can answer those. Otherwise, what we're going to do, you want to maybe hand over and let us know what the next steps are going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Nick.